consistently, whether you are a beginner when it comes to coaching or you are a veteran in this space. Okay, so here are the facts I want you to think about. When it comes to coaching pricing, you have to pay attention to the target audience that you are going to address, right? So your the geography of your audience, the demographics of your audience, the psychographics of your audience. So target audience is number one. Number two, you have to ask yourself, what kind of value am I bringing? So when it comes to actually setting, let's say I'm going to charge $100 or $200 per hour, the big question is, what kind of value am I bringing? In other words, what kind of value pain am I solving for my target audience? And is my target audience willing and able to pay for it? That's the third aspect of the pricing trifecta. In other words, the affordability. So whatever amount you set, make sure that your target audience is actually willing and able to pay for it. So again, I want to insist, willing and able. It's not just about being willing to do something, but if your audience is not able to pay for it, you're just wasting time. And if they're not willing, but they are able to pay for it too, I mean, you're not getting the results you want. Okay. So here are the facts I want you to really pay attention to. Do not overcharge. Do not undercharge. You want to do research to strike the right balance between affordability, demographics, but most importantly, the value you are bringing. So let me talk to you about some strategies here. If you think about coaching pricing, think about the strategies. What are the strategies that you have to think about this year? You can think about hourly rate. So when we talk about prices, we are looking at three or four major strategies, but three prominent ones. You have the hourly rate, you have the value rate, and then you have the retainer rate. So when I speak about hourly rate, that's pretty straightforward, right? You can say, you know what? I'm charging $100 per hour, or I'm charging $200 per hour, or $150, or you know. And so it's one of those things where you want to understand that you have to see your audience pretty well and know how much your rivals are charging and what's the overall state of the economy. Okay, hourly rates make things easy peasy, but heads up, this strategy can limit your growth in the long run. Okay, so this is something to really think about. So ask yourself, how much can I really charge and to really add value in my coaching business, but also in my coaching niche. Some niches are more quote unquote lucrative than others. And then you have the value rate. So here is where things get a little complex. So instead of a flat per hour rate, your price reflects the incredible value that you bring. Think of a business coach whose guidance helps a startup ranking a cool million or a cool 10 million. So their fee will be a fraction of that million, right? So this is not about the hours you put in. It's about the massive results you deliver. So this is important if you want to really look at it from that point of view. Next, you have the retainer rate. So if you're thinking about having a steady income stream, this one is for you, okay? You want to picture a client reserving your genius for a long-term gig. So it's like having a regular paycheck without the nail-biting unpredictability of not knowing where the next payment will come from. Okay, so that's important. I mean, for instance, you can say you can have a retainer from a startup or an established business paying you every month $10,000 for you to really contribute all kinds of resources, all kinds of skills. And that's really good because this really stabilizes your revenue basis. Okay, that's really important from a scalability point of view. So that's important not only in terms of predictability, but also in terms of affordability. So those are the three pricing strategies I want you to think about. So when you think about coaching pricing, think about how much you want to charge for at the hourly rate, how much you want to charge at the value rate, and how much you want to charge at the retainer rate. Now, of course, whatever you choose to actually charge has to make sense from a client's point of view, from your point of view, but also from the overall economy's point of view. Because basically, if the economy is down, you can't really charge too high. If the economy is up, you do not want to charge too low, right? So think about that. Now, in terms of pricing factors, think about what you want to really understand in terms of possibilities. So basically, you have pricing factor number one, monthly goals. Pricing factor number two, know your audience. Pricing factor number three, wear your experience on your sleeve. And pricing factor number four, location, location, location. So the geography of your target audience will play an important role as to how much you're charging. Basically, you're not going to charge the same amount in New York than you would charge in Ames, Iowa, for instance. You're not going to charge the same amount you would charge in LA versus Dover, Delaware. Okay, those are really important elements for you to really pay attention. So it's one of those things where you want to really understand that it has to deal with the geography, but also the demographics you are going after. So when it comes to coaching pricing, here are the hacks I want you to pay attention to. One thing for sure, whether you want to go with hourly pricing, retainer, or value rate, understand that it's all about how you are really delivering. It's all about the return on investment. So how do you price coaching packages like a pro? First of all, think about price based on results. Okay, so let's say your expertise shouldn't be really boiled down to mere clocked hours. Instead, you want to think about the tangible results you offer and the return on investment ROI your clients get. That's your ticket to pricing. So start pricing based on the impact that you drive for your client. Imagine you are a business coach. You got a company to earn an extra $1 million. Now, charging only 10% of that added revenue doesn't sound much anymore, right? Express it this way. You invest $10,000 in me, and I'll help drive $1 million to your business. Not just for a year, but for years to come. So the same goes for health or life coaches. So you want to equate the results to, let's say, real life benefits. How does achieving their health or life goals impact their overall life and well-being? For example, imagine your clients wants to lose weight. What's the true significance of shedding those pounds? Is it increased productivity at work, leading to a potential promotion? Is it more vitality and more, let's say, well-being that increases their happiness? Is it increased confidence and its impact on their relationships and careers, right? So no matter what coaching specialty you have, you can create an ROI model that directly correlates to the outcome that your clients is getting. So in simpler terms, you want to find an ROI that actually translates to their life. It has to have practical meaning. It has to have real life meaning. Remember, it's about connecting the dots between physical results and real world impact, real world expertise. So that's important. Tip number 2, you want to calculate your hourly rate. So what's your ideal annual income? Think about that number and divide it by 12 to get your monthly income rate. Now decide how many hours you wish to work in a month, divide, and voila, you've got your hourly rate. Knowing this aids in targeting your ideal clientele. Perhaps you realize your services align better with the niche market that values and can afford your expertise. So that clarity is a pure gold, okay? Also, know this. Money is drawn to the power of intent. This means when you assertively declare that you want to earn a specific sum this year and actively work towards it, you are getting the stage for success. That's for sure, okay? And this has a stronger impact than wavering or approaching the whole conversation with uncertainty. The tip number 3 I want you to really pay attention to here is to set your baselines. Let me explain here. So let's be honest. When you actually start, whether you start or whether you are an experienced coach, you always need to have a clear idea about pricing, because pricing has a direct correlation with the revenue generation. Okay. So starting out, some coaches practically give away their services because they're trying to get clients. Maybe you did it. I did it too. Okay. It's about establishing yourself, but you can't do it that alone, because at the end of the day, you gotta pay those bills. You gotta really put food on the table for the kids, right? So while the intention is commendable, this is a no-win, because clients who pay peanuts often lack commitment, as they don't have enough skin in the game. And you want clients to have skin in the game. Not just clients, but stakeholders in general gotta have skin in the game. If they don't have skin in the game, they're just wasting. They're just thinking that they're wasting their time, or maybe you're wasting yours too. So it's not about your coaching chops, but their vested interests. So a quick benchmark: life and health coaches, your packages should not dip below $1,500. Ideally, you want to be around $2,500. And for business and high performance coaches, you shouldn't charge less than $3,000 for 3 months. 3,000 to 5,000. Okay, so those figures are not arbitrary, but based on the tremendous value you provide, right? It's all about the value you provide. It's all about the transformative nature of the advice you are actually given. Tip number 4, you want to practice before you pitch. Okay, remember that confidence is really key. So when you quote your price, believe in it. If you waver, your client senses that uncertainty. So before actually facing the real world, you want to practice, rehearse your pitch, stand before a mirror, rope in a frame, or even record yourself. The aim, absolute conviction in your offer and price. Okay, you gotta have that conviction, not only in the short run, but also in the long run. If you think about coaching pricing guide that generate revenue consistently, let me give you a clear guide here. I want to give you first the coaching pricing guide for you to have a clear idea. So I want to show you on the screen here the little table that we have. Of course, this will depend on the geography where you are at, but also the time when you watch this video. Because if you watch this video 10 years from now, those numbers wouldn't really make sense anymore. Okay, but this is where we are at right now. So I'm showing you on the screen here the coaching niche, the salary range, the average salary, the average hourly rate, the top hourly rate, and the citation. I mean the source of those numbers. So you can see that basically those coaches who make money are life coaches, executive coaches, but also business coaches. Okay, again, the number here will depend on your geography. If you are in Dover, Delaware versus you are in LA, as a business coach, you're not making the same amount of money, right? So there's a big delta that depends on your geography, but also depends on the specific economic sector you're in. That's important. So if you are a business coach advising a startup, you don't have the same numbers as advising an established business. Now, how do you select the right pricing model? You have to really understand that you need to know your worth, but you also have to know your market. As I said to you a little earlier, you want a market that's willing and able to pay for your services, right? They must be willing and able to pay for your services. And so it's important, remember, setting prices is not just about what you think you're worth. Okay, deep dive into market research, check out your competitors. What's the average rate for coaches in your niche? What value add do they offer for those prices? You need to mind the time that you're putting into the whole conversation. Mind the time. Time is money, and unfortunately, basically, neither of them grows on trees, right? How many hours can you really dedicate to coaching per week? Being 100% booked doesn't equate to success. Individual coaching essentially employs the dollars for hours model. You charge for the hours you actively coach. It sounds straightforward, but it has its limitations. After all, there are only so many hours in a day, and you want to factor in personal time, breaks, and other life necessities, and the number of hours you can dedicate solely to coaching shrinks considerably. So you want to leave room for life growth and self-care. Take care of yourself. You want to think long-term relationships. Okay, build long-term relationships. They will help you big time. And also, continuous packages or subscriptions often yield loyal clients. It's 6 months more expensive to attract. Let's say it's actually 6 times more expensive to attract a new client than it is to retain an existing one. So consider offering continuous packages that provide ongoing value. This guarantees revenue plus a more profound, more transformational coaching experience for your clients. And your living costs matter. I said this before. Whether you are in LA or Dover, Delaware, you don't have the same economic reality. You want to test and tweak all the time, okay? And finally, you want to balance life and coaching. So it's one of those things where coaching is not just your job, it's a calling. But just as you would advise your clients, balance is key. Don't become the coach who preaches self-care but works 80 hours a week. So by choosing actually a pricing model that aligns with your desired work-life balance, you bring authenticity to your role. And that's what you want, not only in the short run, but also in the long run. So let me talk to you about packages here, coaching packages. When it comes to coaching pricing, the packages that you have are going to be quite essential. So the types of packages it depends on what you want, okay? So, but you can have a single result package, an SRP. So an SRP is like a snapper's aim, pinpointed and time bound. So you promise one transformational results within a clear time frame. Say you are a business coach, right? An SRP offer could be boost your brand's visibility by 15% in 60 days. 60 days. So the allure of SRPs, their specificity. They often command higher prices due to their targeted approach. That's really cool. That's really cool. Then so that's really good, especially if you think your target audience will respond favorably to such a call, if you will. Then you also have the second strategy. You have continuous results package. So this is great in terms of like the first one, the single results package. That's more of a single race point of view, but the continuous results package is more of a marathon race point of view. And CRPs are really expensive in the terms of comprehensive. Okay, offering ongoing assistance as clients grow. A business coach might pledge elevate customer base and revenue over 12 magical months. This broader holistic approach lasts longer, typically spending several months, if not a year. So, how do you choose between single results and continuous results coaching packages? Well, contrary to what many might suggest, there is no right choice, and your niche doesn't actually chain you to a specific package type. Experiment, you want to iterate, you want to refine based on, let's say, feedback and personal preferences. And by the way, you can also have a hybrid strategy. You can have those two. You want to reflect on your coaching style. If you are stickier for structure, SRPs could be your jam. On the flip side, if you love to adapt as you go, leaning into CRPs might be more rewarding, especially in the long run. Okay. However, let's toss in a wild card. Why not mix and match, right? Begin with an SRP, delivering that quick win, then transform your client to a CRP for sustained growth. This approach can be golden. It not only displays flexibility, but also signals to clients that you are committed to scaling their journey. So that's really something to really think about. So when it comes to coaching pricing, I want to give you a few steps here, okay? Understand that you want to shift your perspective. They need solutions, not you. That's important, okay? Your clients need solutions, not you. And this is why when you think about the actually scalability, you got to think about the scalability of the solutions, okay? So understand where your client is currently at. What kind of needs does he have, okay? And then you want to identify what the client really wants. I want to insist on that, what he or she really wants. And then based on your info in those two situations, you can bridge the gap. You can bridge the gap, and you want to propose a short-term commitment, aka taste test package, so that you can see if the connection is there, if the chemistry is there. It has to be there for both parties, for you, but also for your clients. And you want to productize. I got it. Productize your offer, so that's important. Your coaching packages need the same finesse. So productizing is not about commodifying your skills, but rather presenting them in an easily digestible manner. So your package should actually stand out as a beacon of clarity and value in a sea of generic offers, especially if you want to really win big time over time. And you also want to propose your long-term coaching package that I just told you a little earlier in terms of CRP versus SRP, right? It has to be what you want, but it also has to be the reality that you are trying to really bring to the table. When it comes to coaching pricing, there is an interesting framework that I want to share with you. That's called the DSP framework. And so if you probably have heard about that. The DSP framework stands for Desire, Solution, and Package. And this is actually a three-part framework for creating packages designed to create the ideal outcomes for your clients while making it very easy for you to enroll them. It focuses on the desire that your clients have and the solution you have to offer in order to craft your packages. So when you operate from the DSP framework, clients will have clear expectations. There will be clear boundaries, and you will be able to deliver the results that you promise. So in terms of when it comes to the elements of the DSP, you have the problem. So basically, you want to have you want to lay out the problem really, really clearly. Then you want to have the desire of the client to really solve the problem. Then you want to have the outcome, and then you want to have the package, and finally you want to put the price. Okay, and the cool thing is when it comes to pricing, you have the possibility to have a action price, but you also have the possibility to get things done properly. So that's really good from a flexibility point of view. And also, don't forget that anything I'm telling you, if you want templates for coaching packages and coaching packages template and examples, please let us know, and we'll certainly give you one. Or you can contact us via email, and we'll certainly get back to you. That's not a problem, okay? And from a flexibility point of view, you're able to get things done a lot faster. So in terms of illustration, for instance, you can have a simple coaching package from the real world. You can have a 1 month business coaching package. You can have a 6 months business coaching package. You can have 3 months live coaching package, for example. So when you think about the 6 month business coaching package, this package can be designed for clients who are new and mid-level solopreneurs who are ready to grow their online business. And you can have, for instance, 12 to 60 minutes one-on-one sessions plus post-session notes and recordings, 6 months of email and private messaging support on weekdays, monthly goal setting, weekly accountability check-ins, custom audience growth plan, and social media content plan. So that's really good. And so it will be the same thing for 3 months, but slightly tweaked. So, but this gives you an idea of what you can really expect. But by the way, again, if you need more, let us know in the comment section, and we'll certainly get back to you for more information. In today's conversation, I gave you the ultimate coaching pricing guide. And I give you the facts, the strategy, the hacks, the guide, the packages, the DSP framework, the templates, the illustration, and now the closing remarks. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.